Hello there, and now for something completely different. I don't know if I will put this over some random gameplay footage from just not a game I'm let's playing at the moment, or just drop some pictures in. I haven't really planned anything, but yeah, I am waffling off the top of my head. It's just something I've been thinking about with the shall we say, recent events over in Sweden. Yeah, imagine that, huh? Did you hear about what happened over in Sweden, huh? So, what I'm talking about is when that racist Dane came over here recently and burned a Quran in front of the Turkish embassy, while we were at the same time making nice with Turkey to approve us for NATO membership. Which, believe me, there are opinions on both how well that whole negotiation has been dealt with by the officials, and whether we even should have diplomatic ties with Turkey, given that it is something of a dictatorship at the moment. But I digress. Now, before I start talking, I think, just so I can do it lucidly, I sometimes skip over things. That is unfortunate. It happens. Oops. Just so I get that stated clearly. First things first, I am not educated on any laws, either Swedish or anywhere else. So do not take anything I say about Swedish legislation as, gospel or anything. Don't take it to court. Just, I would appreciate it if you don't even quote me, but I'm going to give my understandings, tell you how I understand the legal situation to be and my opinion on that. And this is all opinion. Very few facts, promise. So, burning or otherwise vandalizing a religious scripture, it does appear to be protected under free speech legislation here, at least for now. There is actually a debate brewing on whether we should change that, and that is actually, well, I should say probably, but as far as I know, it is actually the most important, far-reaching in consequences discussion on civil liberties in my lifetime here in Sweden. So I have to admit that I am, as a nerd, excited by that. I find that exciting. Well, it is an interesting discussion. My view on, vandalizing religious scripture. As an atheist, I'm not really bothered by people doing that, but I think it is ill-advised, and it is, at the very least, a sign of great disrespect towards the practitioners of this religion, or at least the officiators, priests, and temple functionaries, or whatever. So I think you should not do that, but I also don't think that you should be arrested for it. I could be persuaded to accept it being a matter of being fined if you do such a thing, but actually going to prison for it? Just don't at me with that nonsense. Just not a thing I'm going to accept. But as for the situation, it is, well, it has history. And I don't claim to know the whole thing. It's just, think about what I say when you read about it. See, the guy who paid for the, well, travel expenses for the racist Dane, Paludan, he was, I believe, invited to Russia to, let's see, what was it again? Be an election observer. It's, yeah. And he went there and said, just, hey, everything's fine here. Not a problem. Everything's free and open. Everybody has had their say. Nobody's getting poisoned or imprisoned for being an opponent, being in opposition to Putin against opposition against Putin. Yeah. Can you tell I'm doing this unscripted, by the way? Now, the political party that he is linked to, I don't know for sure if he's an active member of it, but he has ties to people in that party at the very least. He is also working at said party's propaganda network. Yes, they have an actual propaganda network. It's called Riks, RIKS, and they post videos on YouTube, I believe. I recommend that you don't watch them, just saying. Especially if you actually understand Swedish. Over the years, as the Sweden Democrats has been well, trying to transform themselves from a fringe white power, I won't say militia, but some kind of organization not entirely on the up and up. There have been concerns about ties to Russia, well, and of course ties to Nazis. I think, yeah, I've seen a picture, a photo, I should say, not just any picture, just an actual photograph, uploaded to Twitter, of all places, where a leading functionary in the Sweden Democrats was seen spending time with a pretty big name of the old SS. Yeah, Schutzverstaffen. Those guys. The Nazi terrorist guard. Yeah, of course, that particular this guy died of old age some years ago. So, hey, at least that guy's not much of a concern anymore, directly at least. But if we just ignore the whole Nazi angle and focus on the appearance of having ties to Russia, yeah, although yeah, they're being in some ways linked to the Nazi of old is sort of relevant. So I have a suspicion. I can't prove it. I don't have any evidence. I don't want to, give you the idea that I do have any evidence for saying this. But it is my suspicion, at least, that Russia has in some way financed their political activities, expenses for running the party, and ad campaigns or something. Maybe even some... wait, no, that would be too much speculation. Never mind. So that would then lead me to believe that at least some fairly high up in the organization have some debt of gratitude, debt of loyalty, maybe even to Putin himself. And that further should make you concerned that some people in the Swedish government at the moment, sitting there right now, are what you would colloquially term useful idiots. As in, they would be, well, what I am alleging by calling them that is that they would be advancing Putin's agenda without them personally knowing that they are doing so. And now we circle back to the war in Ukraine, where Putin has tried to justify this invasion by saying that there are Nazis in the Ukrainian government. I haven't really looked into that, but I do have some concerns about the Azov militia, not Azov division, whatever they're called. And nothing is proven, but okay, yeah, maybe there's evidence about them being Nazis or not. I just have not taken the time to look into that, so I don't know. I have seen convincing arguments that there is actually some merit to calling them that. Which, yeah, that argument that there are Nazis in the Ukrainian government, whatever the case may be with Ukraine, there is some actual good indication that this may be literally true for the Swedish government, which is chilling, not gonna lie. Did Russia plan to invade Sweden next, after Ukraine? Is Putin personally pulling Erdogan's strings to stall the process of Sweden joining NATO for that purpose, of actually having the opportunity to invade them before we are NATO members, to invade us, I mean. Yeah, just random thoughts here on a Sunday. Yeah, just, this is a commentary, this is all opinion. Please keep this in mind when you read or hear news about Sweden and this whole, clusterfuck, frankly. from now and into the future. Yeah, you know, now that I think about it, I did actually want to go into a little bit of distinction between just straight up burning Holy Scripture for freedom of expression and actually doing so with the intent of inciting violence. But I think I don't have the chops for that. And yeah, I don't seem to have the throat for that either. I'm a bit raspy. Which is why we have tea. Okay, everyone. That is it for this opinion shenanigans. Now I'm just going to go try to complete Final Fantasy 13 on the PC. Wish me luck.